Good afternoon. I'm back. This video, I will be addressing Jamal Bryant and a few other topics that showed up in the comment section. First, I want to say, hello, Chicago Rainbow. How are you doing, darling? And I also want to do a little bit of addressing something. I'm a small YouTuber. However, my voice and my ideas are valid. And that's not to boast at all, God knows. But there's a content creator with a pretty hefty channel. And whenever I post, they visit my content, they listen to my content, and then they use my content on their platform almost verbatim. Now, I don't see anything wrong with being inspired by someone, but see, I have a problem with something. See, you want to operate as a locust, caterpillar, palmer worm. You want to be a scavenger. You want to be a thief. And the least you could do was click a like or leave a comment. But you won't do that because once you do that, then people will start noticing that, wait a minute, that sounds like what I heard earlier today from Simply. And you understand that's off-putting for some people. And as it should be, you don't use someone else's work or thoughts without giving them credit. Now, this is my thing. Palmer worms, locust, and caterpillar have seasons that they function in. It is my hope and my belief that your season of using my content, my voice, and my thoughts, it's done. I've known about this for the longest. Ever since you even acknowledged my existence when you used to be down in my comment section on my other channel, you've been doing it since then, and I was aware of it, and I didn't say anything. But may it dry up, may it be exposed and revealed. Unacceptable. And then to be black, too. Let's move on to another scavenger. He's down in Atlanta and he's currently in the place of Bishop Long. Let's talk about, revisit his long-standing political aspirations. You see, he has a tendency to grab at low-hanging fruit. I visited this 2 weeks ago. And what he doesn't realize is that anything and everything that he touches immediately dries up and loses validity when it comes to the Black community. It isn't because of an opinion or something. People are discerning, and people can discern there is something not right about him. It is his character, it is his conduct, and it is his disrespect and disdain for African Americans, the everyday Black people that make this country work and run. It is his arrogance and his desire to be popular, not purposed, but he want a power that is not graced on his life. It isn't, as much as he would like for it to be. Because in reality, what is his vision for African Americans? What is it? He's not clear on that. He just used the word fight. Very vague, very elusive wording. And whenever you deal with someone that communicate that way, they are not to be trusted. He should be clear, concise, and direct. We don't need any more slogans. We need truth. We need people with integrity, high moral fiber in standing in this country. Because I notice as a collective, we are trying to reestablish our families because we understand strong families equals to a strong community. When you understand how to be unified in your home, problem solve, communicate, effectively communicate, mutual respect that resonates all throughout your community. It also resonates within your churches. And by re-establishing the initial church, which is the family, the couple, right? By reestablishing it from a healthy lens, not the past, but a modern, realistic, biblical model, it causes the church to not have any choice but to mature and get in line. Because once the Black families reestablish, come together, and it starts with Black men regaining their faith and their trust in Christ and showing back up within the Black church. We have done the best that we can to keep the church going. As Black women, we have been financially carrying the church. We've been praying, we've been keeping the church going. It is very obvious that we are missing a component, which is our men. And because of that, women are being exploited, women are being harmed. The church as a whole, it's being taken advantage of and destroyed from within because we are missing our men of valor. Okay. Now, what does this have to do with Jamal Bryant? He is one of the people within our church, our body like an infection, seeking ways to exploit and use those who are within this community for his own gain. Because make no mistake about it, once he get up the hill, he's going to turn coat. Because anyone who will go reaching for the least, whatever low hanging fruit he can find, they are not to be trusted. You need to understand something. He's not starting now because of what's going on. Political seasons, we, as far as getting ready for this next presidential election, we've already started. We have already started having conversations. We have already started having fundraisers. We're already starting. We are already starting to have conversations about what will be the leading topics and initiatives we will be leading with in this next political term and cycle. We've already started having conversations about what the midterm elections will look like. We've already decided who will be on those ballots, who you will be supporting. We have already had those conversations. We have already decided who will be most suitable to make history, who look the best, reputation the best, XYZ. We have already started having those conversations. And so he's part of those conversations, and they're trying the best they can, the old guard, to push him forward, but he's not desirable. He's not to be trusted. I saw a video the other day, and yesterday, excuse me, of a video he did on his podcast about these two fashion designers, and they were talking about really androgynous designs that can be worn by men or women. And he was having a conversation with them, and I'm concerned as a father with daughters about this new trend, but you have them on your platform to promote their business, on your platform to promote their business. You see how deceptive he is. And he placed that in front of African Americans, and he doesn't expect for us to be able to discern that he is a two-headed snake. Okay? It's very clear that he believes in colorism as well. That's a problem we're trying to eradicate and address within our community. Clearly, he is not the type of man that present and a good example for black families and black men as far as being lustful, liking the liquor, running after the women, being a colorist. He's not reflective of African American men, because overwhelmingly African American men want African American wives, despite what's being shown on social media. And he's a scavenger. It take more than ignoring his content. You have to make sure that your voice make it very clear that he is no civil rights freedom fighter for anyone. He is not to be trusted, and you need to throw your weight, your money, your time, your voice behind those who do represent your ideals, and do not go supporting people just because they're black, because all skin folks are not kin folks. And I'm telling you what I know. I've had these conversations with you all before, being in rooms and hearing and seeing, looking in the mouth, seeing the teeth in the tongue, lips moving, and what people had to say about African Americans. What you need to be doing, you need to be supporting and having conversations that impact the black vote to strengthen and increase the black vote. I'm not going to present my ideas and concepts because too many scavengers seem to want to stop by here and don't want to even acknowledge it, not even with a like. Least you could say is thank you. But much like Brian Carn, go visiting lesser known YouTube channels to steal. But just like Carn, you will be exposed as well. Anywho, you have to make sure that this man down in the ATL, he's erased from the minds of people to even consider him or have a conversation about him when it comes down to politics. Altogether, he doesn't need to be even in the conversation. He's just best as a podcast and a pastor. Because realistically, we're in a time that the prophet, the man or woman of God who are appointed to speak truth to power, to have relationships with governmental and influencing governmental systems for this era, God has not raised them up and called them forward yet, that they make an impact on a global and national scale, such as Dr. King and other men of faith who impacted the entire world, including Jesse Jackson, because they literally sent him for hostage situations outside of this country. And the man and woman of God, the vessel that will be used to impact, influence governmental systems, they have not been called forth or risen up in the land, because before they do, certain things have to occur in this country. They will have to get so down bad that they are willing to listen and be desperate for them to come forward and prayed to come forward. But we're not there yet. We're not there yet. But we'll get there eventually, but we're not there yet. So what am I saying? My advice right now to tell the truth and shame the devil as far as black families, please do everything you can to support those who are having conversations about policies and laws that will fortify and benefit black families. In turn, they will benefit schools, communities, churches, their government, because we need to reintegrate our men back into our families and also back into our churches. And that way they will have the influence that we know they deserve and are worthy of. Because as long as we don't, start there. We'll keep having to deal with filthy, sulfur-ridden people like the one who can't handle his belt and keep dropping his drawers every chance he can to crawl on top of a woman, or dealing with drunks, or dealing with people who like children, people who like gambling, people with addictions. So we can't put our back, and they're expecting us to do it based off of race alone. And you're going to have to think at a elevated level, you understand, instead of being played with like that. So it's going to necessitate that we evolve in our thinking and how we approach topics, because all skin folks are not kin folks, and they do not mean you well. They do not believe in you. They do not respect you. They do not love you, and they exist. And all they care about it is the money. They love them white people on the front of them Benjamins. They love Benjamin Franklin, but they don't love you, honey. And someone like that guy, he's trying to exploit the LGBTQ community. He's trying to get in the face of the illegal immigrant community, Hispanic. He's trying to get in people's face. And believe it or not, the reason why he's doing it, and he's not coming back to retract this statement, because he fostered the same attitudes that they do about black people. And as far as he's concerned, he's happy if they get out there and work on his weed farm, but they're not thinking about that. They can care less. Just convince your people to support us. Not so. That's how I feel about that individual. That's how I feel about it. Another thing, I know I do another video about that. So today will be a 3-video day, so you can know. Okay. No, I'm not saying forsake and turn your back on your own. You had better not. But you need to understand what your allies may not necessarily look like you. You can't get behind people who don't respect you. That man doesn't respect you. He's exploiting you, deceiving you. Because the bottom line, he's about money. He needs you as high as possible so you can support him, and you don't think he's high also? And you don't think the enemy is he's operating through his members? Oh, yes, he is. And that's evident by how he has to reach for low-hanging fruit, because he has no revelation or information coming from the throne room. He knows how to manipulate us. The enemy tell him exactly what to do to play in our face. Now, with that said, I'll see y'all in a little bit. Love you, darling. Bye.